Hello guys, welcome to the 32nd session of Blazor tutorials for beginners. In this session we will learn what is dependency injection and how to use built-in service using DI. If you have already worked with .NET MVC, then you may already know what dependency injection is. DI is a technique for accessing services configured in a central location. We can inject services in Blazor component. Blazor itself provides some built-in services like HTTP client, JS runtime, and URI helper. We have already used URI helper in session 28. Blazor supports only three types of lifetime for dependency injection. First is a singleton, in which a single instance of a service class shared across many components. In scoped lifetime, service registration is scoped to the connection. Currently, this is only supported by the server-side hosting architecture because in client-side, it will be the same as a singleton. In transient, each component obtains a new instance of a service from the service container. Built-in services of Blazor, that is HTTP client, JS runtime, and URI helper are singletons. To inject any service from dependency, we need to use inject directive. It takes two values. First is service class or interface type, and the second is the instance name, which will be used in the component. We have already used URI helper in the previous session, right? And we will use JS runtime in JavaScript interprop session. In this session, we will use the HTTP client to obtain a response from APIs. I will use GitHub's API to obtain the user's details and obtain a username from the text box. For this example, I have already created some new components and models. Here is a model for the form. We just need to obtain a username. Here is the GitHub profile details model. It contains several fields based on the GitHub's response. So we will deserialize response and we will use it. Here is the GitHub profile details component. It includes a simple HTML code that will render profile details. In this component, we will design a form and use details component to show component on submitting the form. First of all, let's create an instance of GitHub profile form model. Form model. We also need to create an instance of GitHub profile details component. It will hold a reference to the component. Now create an edit form. The model will be form model. Execute the onSubmit method after valid submit. Create a form group. Add a label for username. And create input text. And bind its value with username. Create the submit button. In bottom display GitHub profile details component. Add a reference to details component. And create onSubmit method. In this method, we will use the HTTP client to send requests to GitHub. For this, we need to inject HTTP client. And in submit method, call getStringAsync with URL of GitHub's API and pass username from model, we will get JSON response as text. Use await keyboard as its async method. Now we need to deserialize it to GitHub profile details model. I have already added a reference to Newtonsoft. Pass response and pass this model load data method of details component. Now we need to create this method in component. We will get profile details model in the parameter. Now let's update local field and call state_has_changed method to update user interface. Now we have completed all the changes. Save the file and run the project. And open the page. Let me enter my GitHub username. Here I got avatar and some details of the user. Let me check details of Microsoft. It updates. Now let's check ASP.NET's profile. We got data as per the GitHub API. Let's see what we have learned in this session. DI is a technique for assessing services configured in a central location. Built-in services of Blazor, for example HTTP client, JS runtime, and URI helper are a singleton. There are three kinds of lifetime of dependency injection. Built-in services are kind of singleton. In this example, we have injected HTTP client using inject directive. On submit, we have used getStringAsync method to obtain a response from GitHub API. Instead of this, you can also use getJSONAsync method or any other methods of HTTP client. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any doubts, please feel free to contact me. Have a nice day.